Gentlemen, welcome to Capital Sci-Fi.
Thank you.
Are you having a good time so far?
I'm having a great time. Is everyone having a good time? Yay!
Woo! That's what you're going to get. Rony, sir, good to see you again.
Thank you very much, Ant and Deck.
He called us out last year, Ant and Deck.
You see his on his forehead when he pulls his hair back. That's...
But as somebody said last night, Rick has to be Deck because he's a bit more of a Deck. That's exactly the words that we use. So,
I don't know if that's a compliment.
it's not.
It's not.
Gentlemen, let's get the ball rolling by asking the most obvious question. You are now in Star Wars. What's that like? It's a very important question, Rick, that has to be asked.
Okay, it's amazing. It's an amazing thing to be a part of the films. For those that don't know, I played Eloasti in Force Awakens, and then on Rogue One I played Admiral Raddus and Edinburgh Tubes, and then on The Last Jedi I played C'ai Threnalli. But I see some Doctor Who people here, so I have played multiple characters on Doctor Who as well.
Who have you played?
Who have I played?
On Doctor Who.
Oh my god, okay. I'm not sure if I remember them all, but
The short list.
Cyberman, Cyber Controller, Cyber Leader, Ood Sigma, Jadoon Captain, Clockwork Droid, Slovene, oh it's like a test, isn't it? Autumn, Trees from Team,
I think you just made some of them up.
Whisperman, and many more actually, and more.
And more. There we go.
And
We said it was and more. Rony, who have you played in Doctor Who? What? Is this not the Doctor Who panel? I'm sorry.
You did that half an hour ago.
I'll tell you, he's probably got some Star Trek people in here.
Jackie, say hi.
Get out.
We are evil, mighty.
You're outnumbered anyway. Anyway, just to be part of Star Wars is totally 100% amazing. Over above everything else I've worked on, it's like working with guys playing with $200 million worth of toys. It's fantastic. And the food is superb. The food's good, isn't it?
Yeah, the food's always good, yeah.
That's the only thing you can take away from Star Wars. The catering was excellent.
The catering.
That's blue milk, man. That just goes down.
So harsh. So harsh.
At my age, when I've got offered anything to do, I just say, who's doing the catering?
Not what the budget is or your
that's
fee.
the main thing.
Who's doing the food?
So I wonder where's the better place to eat? Is it the cantina or Master Palace? Is it Master's or the cantina? Which is the better food?
They're both worthy.
You see that awkward silence, Rick?
I know.
You
I
caused
caused
that.
that, yeah.
That was you. Yeah.
I've seen both these guys go out with women that look as if they're from the Star Wars canteen.
Thank you. That's my wife to be in the second row there. Thanks very much.
Believe it or not, Des and I are we're both engaged.
But not to each other. Not to each other. To actual living, breathing women.
Well, women, at least. Anyway.
You can speak for yourself, Rick. Let's get back to Star Wars, shall we? This conversation took a weird turn. Sorry? That's what I thought.
Guys, what was it like the feeling of getting cast in Star Wars, knowing you're going to get cast in something that's so iconic? How that feel?
Well, I can annoy a lot of people that audition for things and they try to be in Star Wars. I knew the first assistant director, and I was on another film in London, so the first assistant director on The Force Awakens is a Glasgow guy called Tommy Gormley. So I phoned his wife, and I said, I've just finished filming, right? Another film with Judy Dench. I said, I know Tommy's doing Star Wars, can you find out if you can get me on it? So about 5 minutes later, she sent an email and said, this is the casting director, send all your stuff to her. Tell her you know Tommy and I, right? So I did. Eventually 20 minutes later, so congratulations, Penguin Shooters, tomorrow morning for Walker. So it's not what you don't know how good you are, it's just that I knew some people. But Tommy put me on his background money. And everyone thinks we're doing Star Wars are loaded. That's the reason we do conventions, because we can make some money here. But I was on like £150 a day. I only did 5.5 days. But as I was walking the first day to get my lunch, there was a guy washing dishes, right? And I knew him, he was in a film that I was on a week before as a camera grip, which is a fairly responsible job. He said, listen, I'm giving 200 quid a day, cash in hand, 7 days a week for washing dishes in Star Wars. So the dishwasher of Star Wars would make more money than me, and I'm an Admiral, which I got a blessing.
I do also want to stress that anybody that does appear in Star Wars, whether they're in the catering or on the cast, will pay their taxes despite being paid cash in hand. I want to stress that so we don't get legally sued by Disney. And Paul, any cash in hand work for yourself?
No. But my introduction to Star Wars was slightly different because I had a phone call from a very good friend of mine named Brian Herring, and you may know Brian because he is the puppeteer at BB-8. Anyway, he called me and said he was putting together a list, or a list was being put together for performers who did suit work, animatronics, puppeteering and things like that. And because I'd done quite a lot of it and I'd met a lot of people, he said, you know, was there anyone that I knew that I would put forward to put on the list, for Star Wars? So basically, that was my first introduction, so I was asked to help out to put a list together for performers and puppeteers, of which I did. But at this point, he hadn't said to me what it was about. So he said he was putting together a list, he couldn't tell me what it was for, but that was it. The next phone call I got was they were doing some pre-production for the Force Awakens, and to cut a long story short, they needed someone who could coordinate the movement on the outside of the big beast, of which was being rehearsed way before filming. It was something that Neil Scanlon, who is the head of the CFX department, was putting together and was going to show JJ for hopefully for it to go into the film. So I got a phone call, like I say, to do the movement. Now in the big beast, there were 5 performers, so it all had to be coordinated basically to how that was going to move and how it was all going to work. So I did, I got the phone call, I said yes, I'll come in. At this point I still didn't know what it was for because it was all top secret, but I went in. Once I walked in and signed all the NDAs, the secrecy forms and stuff, I then found out it was for Star Wars. So I did about a week's rehearsal for the big beast, and then it was shown to the producers and ADs, Tommy Gormley as well, and they were like, absolutely, JJ should see this and this should be in the film, which was really cool. And then basically from there it was a domino effect. From there I then started to get more phone calls, can you come in and just try and work on the movement for this? And I was like, yeah, sure. But obviously I'm known for being inside the suits as well, so as time went on, obviously there were characters were chosen for the film, like Eloasti, and I was asked if I'd like to play and go in the suit, of which I did. So it was like a sort of domino effect, and that was obviously on The Force Awakens, and now I've done 3 films. So, and if you're unaware, I'm also the CFX movement choreographer as well. So for all the performers inside the suits and puppeteers, I work with them on the movement of different characters and stuff, as well as playing the characters myself. So yeah, it's great. I get 2 credits, which is brilliant.
And I just want to ask Paul, because you said that you've worked on Rogue One as well.
Yeah.
Now that one was a slightly different take because it is under the Star Wars banner, but it's not a main Star Wars movie, it's a side story.
Yes.
And when you were on that set, did you feel that there was a bit of pressure because of that? Because many people didn't know whether a side story movie would work. Did that reflect on set when you were there?
Not really. I mean, I have to say, generally, the whole team of Star Wars, which is huge, whether it be on one of the trilogies or one of the offshoot films, everybody basically every day is working at their best to do their best. For it to be, good for the fans, really. So, in that sense, it doesn't feel different. But obviously, we were all very aware that it was something that was new, basically. So, we worked extra hard. But, it went down well, I think, generally.
I think so too. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Any Rogue One fans in? Yeah, Rogue One was really well accepted.
Yeah.
And then Last Jedi came out. Anyway,
and that was also really well accepted
It was very well
by a lot of
accepted.
people.
Yes, it was very well received by critics. But let's move on from that. Ronnie, when you were on the set, you said that J.J. Abrams he said that he had to retrieve out of a box.
When I walked on set, one of the best things that JJ shouted out and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new Peter Cushing." Yeah, thanks, great. But there's only one script on set. Nobody got a look at it other than Tommy, and it's printed black and red paper because you can't photocopy it.
Right.
And you're not told anything. What's happening are relevant. Now, I found out there's going to be some CGI explosions around me, and stormtroopers are going to run off the Starkiller base and various other things. So I've not been told and directed how to react. So one of the ladies, I said, "Can you find out what I'm going to do for this?" So she was straight up to JJ, and then JJ gets the microphone and shouts, "Ronnie," he said, "there'll be multiple explosions and various things happening," he said, "but you don't have to react. You've seen it all, you've done it, you've been in the middle, it doesn't matter. But things flying around me, you give the earth shrug if you like, you know." And he said, "Don't smile." Nobody in this said to me, "Ronnie, laugh." He doesn't do laughing or smiling. Okay, he's an admiral. I went, "Okay, that's fine." That was all the direction.
And you took that direction well.
Oh no.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, all I had to do was stand there, don't smile, you know, walk about from A to B.
And could you give us an example of that, of just sitting there and not smiling?
On the Starkiller base, I was directed to walk from one sort of television monitor thing to another one, right?
Yeah.
And the what I'd been told, not maybe to laugh or anything else, but one of the extras is sitting in one of these computer monitor things. So I walk from, on action, I go from A, I walk over to it. I'm supposed to improvise some dialogue. I just get to him and he goes, "Your Tesco home delivery's on the way." Ronnie will do that. No, but it's good fun, and in between takes, Tommy, he played rap music, so we're all dancing around, stormtroopers and everything else. And, you know, so it's great fun to be on set.
Good.
What is your fondest memory of being on set?
Couldn't resist asking Gwendolyn Christie, who plays Captain Phasma. I said, "I've got to ask you this. How do you manage to pee wearing that suit?" And she said, "If I told you, I'd have to kill you." Tell me.
What about yourself, Paul? What was your sort of fondest memory on set?
My fondest memory on set. Do you know what? It's probably too hard to choose one, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to say, there's multiple sets that we work on. And every time we sort of walk into a new studio, onto a new set, even for myself, that is quite used to filming, whether it's on TV or film. I mean, I walk in and it's like, oh my God, this is truly amazing. The attention to detail in every sense is unbelievable. On the sets, with the costumes, the creatures, the designs. I mean, across the board, it's mesmerising. I think, you know, yeah. So, but going back to your question, I think it's just too difficult to choose.
Too many good memories.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice
yeah.
though, isn't it?
When I was briefly on the Starkiller base, a guy came up to me and introduced himself to me and said, "I'm head of costume design." I went, "Oh, hi." He said, "I just want to say to you, you're a credit to the whole production. For all watching you on the monitors all set, you never get out of character. You get fed up with something or turn the helmets off and raising about it. You never get out of character at all. All the time." Right, so well done. I didn't really have to tell them. Once I get that uniform on, and that Starkiller base, I actually believed I was in charge of it. It was awesome. I said, "Man, I can kill people. I can destroy planets." You know? I was right into it, you know?
We will open up to audience questions in a bit as well.
Audience questions.
Yeah, we will. Yes, so if you have a question, we will come to you. Des?
Oh, yes,
Oh, we have
I believe
one
we...
already?
Was it a question there, or were you just stretching? Not yourself. Did gentleman there? No. Well, I'm going to go out anyway, because I need the exercise.
Walk, Des, walk.
I'm not used to this language.
This is the most exercise Ted will get all year.
Tell me what you think episode 9 is going to be like.
Spoiler alert.
To me,
To both.
to both.
And to Rick.
What do I think episode
Jennifer wants to know what we think episode 9 will be like.
That is so difficult because they don't tell you anything. Even when you're on set, they don't tell you. And I don't, at this moment, think they know themselves. Honestly, there was a big, in the General Hux speech, in the Force Awakens, Tommy Gorley was up on the big platform. There's over, everything's computer generated, there's over 150 stormtroopers, right? We performed right in front of a green screen. But he said, look, I need some salute here from you guys. But I don't want anything reminiscent of Nazi Germany, if you know what I mean. We all knew what he meant because the Hux speech is very sort of Nazi, right? So universally, without discussion with one another, we'll come out with this absolute like, we just all come up with it. I think we were thinking, well, can you do that? We can't do that, it's too Roman. We can't do that, it's too Nazi. So we just do that. So it's all Nalucci. But we all come up with it at the same time.
Everybody was just eating the loo then, apparently.
Yeah.
Paul, have you got any... or rather, is there anything you'd like to see in episode 9?
In episode 9, well, I'd like to see C'ai Threnalli come back. So fingers crossed for him that he may be in it as a character. I mean, personally, as a fan myself of Star Wars now, I just think, 9 will be amazing. It'll be amazing. JJ's coming back to direct it. And like I mentioned before, as a team of people and fans, because a lot of people are who work on Star Wars, it would be the best that's possible.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And Rick, anything you'd like to see in episode 9?
What would I like to see in episode 9? Me.
Well, Ronnie knows some people.
Yeah, Ronnie, can you sort me out, please?
Yeah,
Can you sort me out?
Anything's possible.
An Ewok, yeah, thanks, man.
In episode 9, what I'd really like to see is what I thought Captain Phasma would be. I think she gives women a bad name. She's too sort of patient,
She hasn't had a good run so
She's
far.
not a good run. I mean, she's 6'3", a great big powerful woman, I prefer, I thought she was going to be like a new Darth Vader,
Yeah.
but she's too...
Useless, I think the term is
Useless.
for. Yeah.
She couldn't find sleep.
Yeah. She was in the movie, she was in Last Jedi for 5 minutes, and then we see an eye and she falls down.
I know.
Yeah.
So she's really come out of herself,
It's a bit of a shame because we had Wonder Woman on here a couple of hours ago. She was sort of like, yeah, women power, and now we're here just sort of like, what happened? Where did it all go wrong?
Have you got any other questions? No? There we go, right at the end there. We'll get to you guys, don't worry.
Question for anybody? Paul, this one for yourself.
What's it like being Admiral Raddus?
What's it like being Admiral Raddus?
What's it like being Admiral Raddus? Well, firstly, he's among calamari, so, it's like tipping his hat to that species, which I think is really cool. I love him because he's sort of this big, grumpy, sort of Winston Churchill type character. And I got to sit down most of the time.
And that's what's important.
That's what's important. But nevertheless, if you're unaware, I've played a lot of characters, I've worn a lot of things over the years, but Admiral Raddus was the first character I played where I had no vision whatsoever. None whatsoever. So, to let you know how it works, the team of people in the creature effects department are amazing. So, obviously, with Admiral Raddus, he's a fully animatronic head, which is puppeteered, and it was puppeteered by a gentleman called Patrick Comerford. He puppeteered me. So what happens is he has a microphone and I have an earpiece. So if there's any notes or direction that comes from the directors or any of the ADs, or something he may want to tell me, he tells me in my ear. Now obviously you've got to bear in mind that quite often with the shots, it is so precise, where your eye line has to be and what you have to do, and the notes that are being given to you. But nevertheless, basically Patrick Comerford is the gateway for me, because I can't hear anything, and I also can't see anything. So yeah, it is a complete team effort, especially when it comes to creatures, because quite often there's either very minimum vision or none at all. Now obviously when the animatronics are working, it's with all the servos that are inside, it's very loud. It's very loud. So someone could be literally 12 inches away from me telling me something and I can't hear a thing. So that's basically what it's like playing Admiral Raddus.
Hope that was the answer you were after. It was good. That's good.
Is it that weird mix of comfortable for sitting down but uncomfortable because you can't see or hear anything?
Yeah. I mean, I think generally with most creatures, there's always a challenge to be had. All the performers who play different characters, there's always a challenge to be had. But, nevertheless, it's a good challenge.
Awesome. We do have time for one more question. Was there anybody?
I saw the guy over there.
Apparently there's one over there.
Should we make it just, should we make all of them fight? That's it. Then whoever wins can ask a question. No? Okay.
And who can you get a question from?
Is there sort of the plot about
So I can't hear.
It will be in March of this year, and it's going to be Solo and Star Wars story. It's actually Solo. You're okay at that, I know this one. So it's a very important movie because it went through several directors and a couple of rewrites. So hope to God that it's a good movie more than anything else. This is a very, very important movie. We do have time for. I'll tell you what, there's one question over here. I know, okay, we'll go 1 and 2 and then we're going to have to stop there, right? So, what's your name? And do you have a question for anybody in particular? So did you nick everything?
Sorry?
Did you nick everything from set?
No, I haven't. They are so strict. They are truly strict. They count things out and they count things back in. And if something is not counted, the gates close. You're trapped. No, not really. No, I haven't. No, I haven't.
Now, we were told that everything in the costumes are all microchipped, so you can't get away with anything. And when you go into time with the first thing you do is take your phone off you. There's a guy who's playing a stormtrooper. He smuggled an extra phone in on the second day, but they call him taking shots. And he took his phone off and wiped it, and he was escorted out of Pinewood now to work in there again. Even if you're actually going to get photographed in the streets of Pinewood Studios, but I had to wear a secrecy coat, right down to my big black coat, right over my head, right down to my ankles, anywhere I went, in case there was any paparazzi about trying to get shots in uniform. My last day, which was kind of crazy, I was sitting, it was lunchtime or so, I filmed in the morning, and I was sitting having my lunch before they ran me back into London. And 2 people started cutting my hair. Oh, yeah, what are you doing? I'm finished, I'm wrapped. I said, no, your hair is branded. You cannot, you must have signed something. He said, you cannot go out, ever, wearing your hair the way we started it, for Star Wars. Yeah, I actually signed stuff every day. I don't know, you always handed me 5 sheets of paper every day, sign. So I think I'm going to Walt Disney or something, I don't know.
Was it really worth it to have been £150 a day? Do you never have a haircut ever again?
You, I think.
I was, do yourself, Rony.
Feedback,
We can't hear you very well.
That's fair enough, then I'm not going to stop talking then. I do have one more question for Rony. One more question?
Is there actually space so that you can get any deliveries? Is there a space test where you can actually get home to work?
I think that's probably the best question that I've had to ask Rony.
Oh, we haven't helped it.
Go on, can't hear it.
He wants to know if there actually is a space Tesco's that you can get home delivery with. Is there a space Tesco's that you can get home delivery with?
If I told you I'd have to kill you.
And there it is! We come full circle. I do apologise I can't get through everybody's questions, but if you are around tomorrow, we'll open it up for questions then, you can ask them. The gentlemen are here all weekend, so if you want to head over to the table and get a question then. But for everybody, please, get a round of applause for Rony and Paul.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, and a round of applause for those two.